Hello students, welcome once again to another section. Now we have another question on finding which number is a larger number. So we have the square root of 30 or 11 over 3, and we have to find which one is the larger number. So we are going to go through the normal routine. So now let's look at this quickly. So again, I'm going to use this fraction over here. So I'm going to pick 3, and then I'll pick 11, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double them. So with doubling 3, I have 9. This 3 times 3, 9 times 3 is going to give us 27, and 27 times 3 is going to give us 81. 81 times 3 will give us 243, and then when I go on to double them, times 3 is just going to give us 729, and then so I can go on in that order. It's the same way we are going to do to this 11 over here. When I double 11, 11 times 11 is going to give us 121, times 11 is going to give us 1331. And double this, I'm going to get 14,641, right? So doubling that, this is what I'm going to get. Now again, what I have to do is that I have to pick a number that is more closer. So in picking a number that is more closer, and also it is also greater than 2, right? The powers of 2. So this is 3 raised to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So 11 raised to the power 1, 11 raised to the power 2, in that order. So I'm not going to pick numbers that are less than that but more than that, right? So I'm going to start this and that. If I pick this and that, you realize that the difference here is a bit more. What about this and that? Realize that it's also closer, but a bit, the difference there is also more. When I pick this and that, 121 and 81, with this one too, I could also consider this, which is that, but it's still more, right? But what about this? So I have 11 raised to the power 2, and that of 3 raised to the power 5 in this case, right? So I can consider these two numbers. So remember, I have 11 raised to the power 2, right, which is 243. And remember, this is greater than what I'm picking here, which is greater than 3 raised to the power 5, right? 11 raised to the power 2 is 121. 3 raised to the power 5 is 243 in this case. Okay, so at least if you look at the numbers, they are a bit closer. The difference between them will be let's say more than 100, which is a bit closer as compared to the others. So we have this, right? So now let's further simplify this. Now remember, we are working towards this root 2 over here. So I can also write 3 here in terms of properties of indices. I can write this as 3 raised to the power 2, and that of 3 raised to the power 3. Remember, if the bases are the same and they are multiplied, we can add the exponent. Adding the exponent is going to give us 5. So I can write 3 raised to the power 5 in terms of that. And I have 11 raised to the power 2 here. Now, so from here, because I have to the power 2 here, I can bring them together, right? So I have 11 over 3, everything here raised to the power 2, sorry, and then that will be greater than 3 raised to the power 3 in this case. Remember, 3 raised to the power 3 is 27, which is 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3 is going to give us 27 in this case. Now we have this, right? Now, and then we have in the square root, we have 30 over here. But remember, 11 over 3 here raised to the power 2, we said that is greater than. So I'm replacing this with the 27, which 27 here will be 27 here. No, so our 3 raised to the power 2 is rather greater. Sorry, so I'll correct that. It's rather greater, right? So 11 over 3, the 11 here, which is 121, is less than that, right? So I've corrected that. Now 27 here is also less than our 30 here, right, in this case. So if that is the case, from the transitive property, we've talked about the transitive property. If you have a number, let's say a variable a less than b, and you have the b also to be less than c, then this implies that we have a to be also less than c in this case. So in this case, we have 11 over 3 to the power 2 here being less than 30 in this case, right? Now let's further simplify this. In simplifying this, we put the square root on both sides. This will get rid of that, and from here I could have my 11 over 3 here, which is less than 2, and then the square root of 30 in this case. So you can see that from here we have 2 is that's less than 11 over 3. So realize that the sign here is going to change to this direction, and therefore we have this number here to be greater. So we have our second root of 30 to be greater than 11 over 3 in this case. Now if we look at this in terms of decimals, we have our 11 over 3 to be 3.67, and then our 30 here to be 5.477 in this case, right? So we realize that still this one here is greater than our 3.67 here. So in this case, we have this number to be greater. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.